may we please see the Atari or NES games? And I get met with like the fire of 1,000 suns, like, dude, it's PS3 night, man. Can't you see? So if you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume you're familiar with Whatnot, the streaming service that's been around for a couple years now. That's sort of like if Twitch and eBay had a really weird hookup behind a sketchy bar. I think Whatnot has a lot of potential. It's certainly had a lot of growth in the last few years. For those who really want to enjoy Whatnot, whether you're a buyer or a seller, I see that there's some problems that seem to be systemic on this platform. And of course, liking to be the helpful chap that I am, I've decided to gather my grievances with Whatnot together so that if you are a buyer on Whatnot, we can commiserate together. But if you're a seller on Whatnot, I expect you to pull out a pen and paper and take some notes because I'm talking to you. So here's the thing with the Whatnot platform. If you decide to click into a show, you should be able. The platform was designed so that you can see a listing of the auctions that are going to be taking place during the show, as well as optionally a list of buy it now items that seller has placed in there for you to buy without having to wait for the auction. But all too often we see on Whatnot, sellers just disregard the auction in the buy it now listings and just give you a camera shot of one part of a bunch of items, or maybe nothing at all sometimes. And the whole idea is that you're expected to do all the work. That's right, you're expected to go and ask for each individual game or genre you want. In the case of a bunch of people coming in, the show just becomes a convoluted mess of people saying, got any Game Boy? Got any Pokemon? Got any NES? Got any PS3? Got any Pokemon? Got any Atari? Got any Pokemon? Ad nauseum. And it turns out that the seller just had 4 or 5 Xbox 360 sports games. It's just ridiculous. Buyers aren't looking to spend infinite amounts of time wading through the trash to find the treasure. If you're not willing to take the time to tell your viewers what you're selling, you can't expect them to give a damn about your show. I've seen all too often lately Whatnot sellers, particularly either new sellers or sellers that don't quite have the largest of followings, making the mistake of starting items at $1 or some significantly low amount and being really upset when they don't end up at an end price that is at or above market value. I can think of a few particular examples of folks you might say they're like the John McEnroes of Whatnot. And I'm looking at you guys, you've got to understand this just doesn't work for you on any level. It doesn't ingratiate your customers to you. It doesn't put forth a fun, easygoing vibe. It makes everyone feel awkward. It doesn't make anyone want to socialize with you. And it makes it less likely that someone's going to want to return to your show if it's just a whirlpool of negative energy and complaining. Look, when you go and you set up a Whatnot show and you make the choice to start items at $1 at some very low amount, you are assuming the risk that if you're not popular enough or big enough, or that your viewers aren't going to pay a premium for a parasocial experience with a big name YouTuber or whatnotter, that's on you, not on them. We're here to buy goods. Yes, we are also going to have a lot of regulars around. There's a sense of community, and there is some small talk, and that's actually a positive thing. But no one wants to see this. All right, well, all right, thank you let's see, Fisty McSlippy Fist 69 for buying this genuine CIB Atari Tapper. Thank you for your purchase. Oh, hey, by the way, folks, we'll get to that next super banger right there in a moment, but I got to tell you, the wife and I, we went to Walgreens last night, and you know what? I gotta tell you, they finally had the Swiss Alpine Herbs Ricola in stock. And boy, I gotta tell you, I sat there and I was thinking to myself the whole ride home, am I just gonna go right into switching over to the lemon mint, or am I gonna continue on with? You get the story, folks. No one is sitting there tuning in to have to wait for minutes, hours, what seems to be an eternity between items, because you feel the need to use the Whatnot show and your platform is a to fill some sort of social void you may have. You know what? You know what's good for that? Going out, touch grass, go to your local VFW, your local swap meet, your local speed dating event at your local country bar. Do something, but don't foist your need for interaction that might be missing in your life on your audience on Whatnot. All too often, sellers are, and I'm just going to take the Band-Aid off and not sugarcoat this, lazy. You see, I see a lot of times sellers will reuse previous show titles and search keywords. To wit, all too often, I'm in the video game space on Whatnot, and I collect NES, I collect Atari. I'm always looking for shows where there's Atari or NES. So I will get super excited when I see a show title that says Atari, NES, either in the title or in keywords, and I'll click in there. And all too often I do that, and what do I see? It's PS3 racing game night again. It happens way too much, and sometimes I'll be particularly saucy, and I'll go ahead and I'll say in the chat, excuse me, Atari and or NES in my search keywords brought me here. May we please see the Atari or NES games? And I get met with like the fire of 1,000 suns, like, dude, it's PS3 night, man. Can't you see? Duh. Oh, sorry, that was last week's title, but I couldn't be bothered because we got mountains and mountains of epic PS3 games to sell tonight, bruh. Bruh, that's not on me, that's on you. It's just a waste of your audience's time when you either don't bother telling them what they're going to be able to buy or you're selling them the wrong shit. And sellers, beyond just making sure that your title is accurate, I think we can all do a little bit of a better job at consistency throughout a show. To wit, okay, you did properly say your show has NES games and you have NES games, but don't feel the temptation to freestyle it and decide, you know what, I'm also going to throw in some VHS tapes I got over here. Oh, you know what? I've got a salad shooter in the kitchen that I really don't want anymore. I'm going to throw it in as well. The more you kind of go off topic in a show, the more likely you're going to lose retention and people are going to tune out, and then they won't look at the rest of those NES games. Again, it's also going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths about the platform in general. Those wonderful show thumbnails. That's right, the thumbnails. Why is it that so many sellers on Whatnot think that I want to click on your pets, your Pokemon fan fiction drawings, the dank meme your neighbor sent you on Facebook, or what the fuck is this? Why would I ever click on this thumbnail? I don't understand why anyone who is almost uniquely on Whatnot going to have some specific areas of interest would click on a thumbnail that absolutely has nothing to do with what they may or may not be able to purchase from you. I get it. You're creative. You like the fact that you bought the How to Use ChatGPT for Dummies book on Amazon last week. Or again, your neighbor sent you just the most amazing meme ever and you feel the need to share it with the world, or you're super, super happy with your new dog. But it's not going to help you sell any more items, whether it's video games or jewelry or, quilts or whatever you're trying to sell on this platform. So please, for the love of all that's good and right, if you want me to care about your show, put some visual representation of what you're selling on the damn thumbnail. Folks, let's review, okay? List your shit. Don't be a jerk. Keep the games moving. Get your titles good. And give me a good thumbnail. It's not difficult. Sit, Duck Dragon, sit. Good Duck Dragon.